Do y'all remember about a month ago I said that this iconic American brand looks like it is on its way towards dying and the stock had absolutely fallen off the map? Well, it sounds like that company was listening because it announced today that it is replacing its CEO. What is that company? What is going on? And what do we need to know as investors right now? Let's go ahead and break it down. The company is Nike. And just a month ago, I did an entire breakdown of video about Nike and why I thought the company was in trouble, why I sold it months ago, and just gave you a whole lay of the land around what was the issue with Nike. Now, I don't recall saying they should get rid of the CEO because I don't have a crystal ball, okay? But I did say that they had made some pretty problematic management decisions. And they apparently do agree with that. So here's what's going on, and then I'll give you my thoughts around what you may want to consider as an investor. If you own the shares, things that you want to consider, and then whether or not it makes sense for you to buy, and also perhaps most importantly what you should learn, because even if you don't own shares of the stock right now or even consider owning shares of the stock, there is a lesson, there's a very important lesson that we can all learn here as investors, because that is what really investing is about. You can take these lessons and apply it to the stocks that you own. Okay, learn from others' mistakes. When other companies don't do well, learn from that so that you don't repeat those mistakes and you say, ooh, I've seen this before. Let me not invest in X, Y, and Z because I've seen this playbook, right? If you watch Blockbuster fail, don't make a Blockbuster type mistake. Okay, so what's going on here? So number one, it is Elliott Hill is replacing John Donahoe as CEO, and this is going to take effect on October 14th. And this was announced about an hour and a half ago. By the time I edit this and go up, it'll be roughly 2.5 hours by the time, again, that most people see this video. So it is relatively fresh information. Why is this occurring? Nike just has not been a great stock for almost three years or so. It had been great for a lot of reasons. A lot of those reasons we've talked about in this video, so I don't need to go back and repeat it. You can go and watch the video. I would encourage you to do so. It was a very good video that broke down all of those reasons. But the short version is the stock has been trash this year, or in recent history. It had been down about 16% in the last 6 months and 13% over last year. As you know, the stock market has been up. Now, at the time of this announcement, this is aftermarket numbers, the stock shot up 10%. So again, tomorrow on Friday, the numbers could be different. And this does tell you a lot of interesting information. If a CEO retires or leaves and the stock shoots up, that tells you weren't doing a great job. Now, contrast this to the time that we talked about Chipotle CEO and that person leaving, and then that stock shot down. I said, oh, let me get up out of here, right? So just kind of look at that. Nike, which had not been doing well all year, CEO leaves, stock shoots up. Chipotle had been doing well all year, CEO leaves, stock tanks, right? That tells you how much leadership and how much management actually does matter for a company. Now, from what I read, and again, all this is happening pretty quickly, I think Elliott Hill had been with the company for more than 20 years and has a pretty good track record with the company. We'll see whether or not that's going to make a difference here pretty soon. But again, bad management is one of the biggest reasons. Go back and check the previous video on how Nike got to the position that it is in. The biggest thing is, what can you learn from this and whether or not this is a good stock to buy at this point in time? The answer is, for me, no. You still want to exercise patience. Yes, it could be a great idea that what seems to be the bad management person, the bad man, is gone, okay? That's all well and fine, but you don't know at this point in time what the new plan is. Yeah, the stock is up. Yeah, the stock may be up on Friday, but we're not just investing for tomorrow. Okay, I'm not investing for tomorrow. I would prefer to invest for the long term. I would prefer to invest from now until this time in 2025 and beyond. I don't know what that plan is, but the main point is the landscape has changed, and whether it is the Hoka shoes or the Noble shoes or whoever else is out there in that landscape, are you going to get that ground back or no? That is the real thing. You have these other competitors, and are you going to really fix that? What is the distribution chain? What is going on in China and all these other markets? I don't know. I don't know what that plan really is. And if we're being honest, Nike was never really a world beater when it came to the stock market. It had been solid, but you were never going to get Nvidia numbers. Nor should you expect that either. I think that's the thing too. Yes, you can, if things go well, Nike could be a positive stock next year. Nike could be doing okay, right? I'm not saying that it's going to continue to be trash. I don't know. I do not know, because this absolutely does change the equation. It absolutely changes the equation, and we will need to come back and reevaluate and erase the board and start completely over, because what we knew just a month ago no longer applies. None of it applies anymore. But this is a question mark, and that's the thing here. I personally don't like investing in question marks. And just like I told y'all about in the video where I talked about my process for investing, you can check out that video here. I want to invest in as sure of a thing as possible. I want to stack the deck in my favor as much as I possibly can. Now, when it comes to marketing and branding and brand equity, you absolutely know what Nike brings to the table. As I'm saying the word Nike to you, I know that you're thinking right now in your mind 3 or 4 things right now. You are thinking about the swoosh symbol. You are thinking about the swoosh symbol is the logo. You're thinking about that. You're thinking about the slogan, just do it. You are probably thinking about the ad. You may be thinking about Michael Jordan. You may be thinking about a commercial or two, right? That is how good that is a sure thing. Marketing, branding, logo, that's type of stuff. That's not the stock. None of that is the stock, though. That's not sales. That's the thing. That's supposed to translate into sales. It is supposed to translate into dollars, and all of that is supposed to translate into the stock moving in the direction that we, the investor, is supposed to profit from. But it hasn't. And the fact that I can do that, right? The fact that I could easily, with no prep, no notes, look straight into the camera and just tell you, I can rattle off all those stuff with just thinking about it, because they have done so great on the branding and marketing, and you could do the exact same thing, but they ain't got no money out of my pocket. Right? Now, I don't know about yours, but they ain't got no money up off me. And apparently, they haven't got enough money up out that CEO, right? And whoever else they've been trying to sell shoes to. And that's the biggest issue. So, can this new person do that? Perhaps they will. But they're going to have to show me. And that's the thing. They need to show me. They need to show the stock chart. And when they do that, and they do it for a long enough time, then I will compare it to what everybody else is doing in the market. And if they do it to a high enough degree, then I can consider it. Then we can come back and talk about it. And then maybe I think it can become investable at that point in time. These are all ifs. If they can check all those boxes, then I will become interested in Nike at that point in time. But until then, this is all potential. Potential sounds great on paper. I ain't got potential money. I'm sorry. I can't pay bills on potential. Potential's not my budget right now. It's just not. But that is how I'm looking at Nike right now. I think also the biggest lesson here is this is one of those things, one of those opportunities where we talked about before, when you can see potential issues and you can see, I'm not going to call them losses, but when you can see these, it's the best way I can say this. Nobody can tell the future, right? I'm not one of these people either, right? If I could see the future, I wouldn't invest in Intel, okay? But when you can see, when possible, when you do your research and you can see potential issues, try to avoid them if possible. Because when we did our research and we did that video on Nike, we could see, hey, the stock has not done well. Hey, they have issues in these areas. Let's not invest in these let's not lose our money, right? Those are the types of things that separate okay investors, good investors, great investors from people who constantly jump into the market and jump in the comment section and say, I don't like the stock market because I lost $500. And sometimes I'll ask why, or what did you invest in? It's like, why well, I just bought Nike? Why did you buy Nike? Because I like the shoes. That don't work. Why did you do that? Right? Because that's not how investing works. I understand why you did it, right? But that's not how investing works. You want to read, you want to watch videos like this, you want to subscribe. It's your opportunity to do so. But these are the things that you want to do, and the mistakes that people tend to make, because it takes a little bit more than just looking around the room, pulling out your phone, and just investing in things just because you like those particular products. And that is where some people get burned. And it's why I do what I do for as long as I do, even though this is a Nike shirt, right? But why I do the things that I do to make sure that I can help you as much as possible and give you quality info, right? As much as I possibly can. So that's kind of the state of Nike right now. Is definitely on what y'all doing alert, because I do think this is going to be interesting and something that might turn the corner, but it is something that we'll see. But we'll see again what goes on. Definitely go back and check the video to see what has gotten them here, because I think that is going to give you a good marker of here's where they were, and then to see where they're going to go. Because you want to see what changed if you're somebody who wants to invest in Nike, but you have to see what changed, right? So go back and watch that one to see, you know, what the bar is going to be, right? You have to measure it against something, so you definitely want to go and check that video out. If you want to learn more about investing, as well as other stocks that you might want to invest in now if you actually want to make money, since Nike has not been doing that, then you want to check out these videos here.